All right, let's
on
go.
my computer while you're here.
We're gonna improvise it. What the hell?
All right.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie Musselwhite, and you're listening to Athena After Dark. I ain't lying. Thank you, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome to Athena After Dark. Oh my goodness, the Hot Mess Express has arrived. Absolutely. Okay, as always, there's some sort of technical difficulty that we have to master through. So, you know what we do? As Sarge would say, improvise, adapt, overcome, hoorah. So that's what we're doing. Okay, well, we have a great show tonight. I hope you guys had a great week. I know I sure did. It's been exhausting trying to play catch up from actual Daytona and everything that went along with it. So we're going to start out with, of course, our upcoming events. If you're ready for that, let's do it. All right, the Donnie Smith Show. So this weekend coming up, St. Paul, Minnesota, it is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'm so excited. Um, of course, I'm hoping that I get to be there, but only time will tell. So, but if you're anywhere near or if you made a plan, you are in the right place. That's for sure. Okay. And then in April down here, we have the Iron Goddess Motorcycle Show. So, ladies, bring your bikes out. We have some really cool stuff going on there. And then what I'm excited about, TMMR. Oh my goodness, the clock is ticking. We will be there as an invited builder for the Bill Dodge BC Moto Show. And that's an event that's off the chain. So I'm excited about that. That is too cool. And we're going to build a nice little chopper for my daughter. And she's going to get to learn to ride. Well, she rides everything, but she doesn't have a chopper yet. So we're going to work on that. Okay. And I'm pushing the buttons tonight. So bear with me. That's why there's technical difficulties. You know, if it can or will, it will for me. That's for sure. Okay. So, you know, I love the guests. The best part of the show is the guests, and I have some shout outs. So we're going to get through this stuff as quickly as possible. What do I say? Let's kickstart this baby and get it rolling. Okay. One of the things that I love about doing what we do here at Vagabond Chopper is the customers, and they end up being family. They end up being vagabonds for life. So I'm going to turn this on here. I can work it out. This is the epitome of why we do what we do. Happy campers. It's just the way it is. Okay. So this is Miss Laura. Miss Laura came to us with an RG3 that we are helping her get ready for that Iron Goddess motorcycle show. She also had a CVO and she needed some stuff done, like a Bang and Rockford stereo head unit, speakers all the way around. We did a rise up kit in the back, and oh, so much stuff. Don worked his butt off. She did the Legends suspension shocks. It really was. She changed the wheels from her RG3 to the CVO with that Blizzard white, I don't know what you call it, sparkle. I don't know the exact name of it, but that bike is really off the chain. And so this is her happy camper self after a test ride. She was so happy. She left Facebook messages and she's become part of the family. I just love her. I have two wonderful Lauras in my life now. I'm so lucky. All right. And then I want to give a shout out to our 2024 Sturgis Hall of Fame inductees. James Gregory, who is a Vietnam veteran, helps with the wall. Roger Goldammer, who is a colleague, and he is a racer and absolutely a phenomenal inspiration to a lot of people out there. Sir Ed Kerr, wow, what an icon. He has been around building motorcycles since the early 60s, and it doesn't get much better than that. Then also Christine LaPera and her brother Bob LaPera Jr. for carrying on the family business. LaPera seats are absolutely awesome. And then one of my favorites also, David Ewell. He is going to be inducted also. His artwork is phenomenal. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please do. It's absolutely incredible. And then this year's Lifetime Achievement Award will be presented to Pete Hill, the racer. Then the 2024 Freedom Fighter Award goes to Jigs Cressy. And then, of course, one of my favorites, James Sherwin, Bud Akins, is the 2024 honoree for the Kickstand Down Award. Bud was like, I guess you would say he was a stuntman, so much stuff. He was like, you have to look up Bud Eakins. I want to get Pat Simmons on the show one time because if we did that for real, um, you could get all the history there is. That's for sure. Okay. And yes, I am pushing these buttons here. Okay. So, all right. So that was it. Shout out to them. And also tonight's guest, his lovely wife, Miss Cindy. It was her birthday, I believe, yesterday. So happy birthday. Shout out. Okay. Let's get to the fan five good things. You ready? Okie dokie pokey. Okay, Marty from Sarasota. He says, you are one of my five good things every week. Thank you, Marty. I love that. I appreciate you. Joey from Ontario. I am coming to the US for Sturgis, my first time. Oh, you are going to so love that. We'll be in Sturgis. So if we get a chance to meet, that would be fantastic. I just love to see the look on your face. We always love the bike week and rally virgins, and they've never been because they're always in awe. And there's a lot of good riding there too. Sarah from Boston. I met Dave and Jody Perowitz at Willie's. Thank you. I love to make the introductions. I really do. I love when the fans get to meet their idols and the people that inspire them. It makes me happy. Jackson from Sacramento. Just got my 24 CVO Road Glide. All right. I rode one of those. It was okay. It was more of a man's motorcycle than I cared for, but I get it. They lowered it, so it changed the actual leverage points of it. So it was a little rough off the kickstand, but congratulations to you and ride the shit out of it. That's what matters. Tara from Montgomery. My first bike week was epic and it was great to meet you at the Cycle Source show. This young lady really, 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 absolutely, I'd have to say she rang my bell. She was just so peppy and she was riding this little Honda and it looked like it could barely go. And she was just so happy. And it really made me feel good about what we do and just riding motorcycles and all that good stuff. So, which is why we all love what we do, right? Two wheels, life on two wheels is fantastic. Okay. Speaking of Cycle Source, Grease and Gears TV. If you guys have not seen it yet, you have to go and you have to see it. It is like the Netflix of motorcycle content. You can find anything and everything there for sure. And there's the address. Make sure you do Grease, the letter N, gearstv.com. Okay. And then next this week, I'm highlighting one of my favorites. Okay. BikerNet. If you guys are not familiar with bikernet.com, you have to check it out. News, fun, tech. It's like an online motorcycle magazine with global coverage. Everything owned by bikers, customs, choppers, performance parts, technology, rider gear, racing, adventure, events. I mean, and then of course the Freedom Fight. They do that. But Bandit, if you go into his cantina, he writes some of the best, absolute best fictional stories there are. And well, if you look up Bandit's history, he was an original Easy Riders writer. So what's not to love about that? I get all giddy there. Sorry, I need to get off track. Okay, I can turn these buttons off too. Oh, I did say Don was exhausted and I gave him the night off, right? He does a way better job than I do, for sure. Okay, let's see what else we're going to get through here. I just got a couple more. And I know I'm not looking at you guys, I'm looking at the screen. So we had some technical difficulties. And that does happen. It's something that we get through. Our guest tonight, I think we're gonna have to do it by Facebook. And as crazy as that sounds, we are gonna do it. I do have the Ask Athena question. I am just looking for it because again, Don does a way better job than I do. So, all right, let's do it here. Okie dokie. All right. Oh, we want to do that. Okay. Dear Athena, it was my great pleasure to meet you in Daytona Bike Week this year, and I'm so enjoying the thoughts you inspired through our conversation about life and the people in it. I was wondering if you could give me some insight as to your take on dating a motorcycle club member as a woman who rides her own. Any insight would be great. Thanks, your newest fan, Jada. Jada, I remember you. You didn't tell me you were looking, but that's cool. I'm all about that. So, women riding their own in motorcycle clubs. There's two things to that. Depends on what kind of motorcycle club. So there's regular MCs. I guess there's a few now. There's riding clubs, which everyone's entitled to ride. There's MC, which where I come from stands for Man's Club. And there's regular clubs out there. Okay. And then there's 1% clubs. In the regular MCs, a lot of their women ride with them. That's not a problem. Always do your best to be respectful and follow the rules to riding in the pack. And again, do your best to make sure that you stay on point with reading your traffic and not putting anyone else's life in jeopardy. No blase lollygag. And when you ride in a pack, it's way different. When you ride with your man, you guys do what you do. If it's a 1% motorcycle club, there's a whole decorum to that. A lot of times the women don't ride in the pack. It's best if you can just meet your man wherever you're going, for the most part, unless he says, hey, ride with us, or the pack says, hey, you can ride here. But you need to make sure that you know the protocol and how they ride and what all the signals mean and so many things that go on with that. Um, as far as guy, if you like the guy, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Always be respectful, like I said. And if I can say anything to anyone about any of that in the motorcycle culture, you know, women are a little different. And there's a little bit of a lifestyle that's, I don't know, unique to its own. But I would have to say that if you have an issue, you have a falling out, you have a spat, whatever it is, do not, absolutely do not approach that or bring that out in public anywhere. You save that for at home, because that in the biker culture is um the best way to be respectful of your person, your man, I guess, per se. Same thing backwards, you know. You don't really want to go air your dirty shit out in front of the whole world. So if you're on point with all that and you remember, that it's MC Man's Club, it's a whole different thing. It's not a riding club or a women's organization. So again, just be respectful of the history, get to know about it and what their whole gig is, and just make your way through and again be respectful. So I hope I answered your question. Okay. And I see I have chats here. See, again, Don does good. He puts it on the TV and all that stuff like that. Miss Cheryl's out there. Miss Cheryl and Miss Cheryl, Gloria's granddaughter, and then Miss Mailbox, Mailman's better half. Ellie Rains, love it out there. I love you guys. Thanks so much. Okay, so we talked about having technical difficulties, right? So my dear friend and our guest tonight, Sir Walt Lumpkin. We were attempting to get him on his camera. We were unsuccessful. We were trying to get him on his phone. We were also unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. However, I'm going to go through the pictures, and I have him here on FaceTime. And let's see if we can do that. I don't know how you. I think I can swipe that out of there, and I think you can actually see him. Oh, we might have to turn the light out. But there's Walt. Okay, I'm going to fix this. Gotta love it. You have to love it. Only in our world, right? Okay, I got this. Let's see if we could see him. No glare. There he is. I see him. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna show some pictures and then we'll come back to Walt here. So that we're gonna improvise. We're doing it. I'm knocking cameras over, moving the whole studio. It's always fun, always an adventure. Walt, they're all saying hello to you because they absolutely love you like I do. It's fantastic. Okay, so, oh, hey, hold on one second here. Again, Don's better at pushing the buttons than I am. Are you guys all having?
Everybody too.
I know you do. He loves everybody too. So we're gonna get him in the. I could get him in the microphone and on here, and we'll just do our interview. So let me just get these pictures going here. Of course. Calgon, take me away. Thing one. I don't know what happened to thing one, but thing one. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So our guest tonight, the absolutely wonderful Sir Walt Lumpkin, he is a photographer extraordinaire. So his favorite thing to take pictures of course, is our lifestyle and all that good stuff, but the Blue Angels. So check out these photos. We're going to go through these photos because this is awesome. And this is something that he's passionate about. Look at that. That is awesome. I love that. It's hard to capture a picture like that, too. It takes a good eye and a good camera. There he is with his motorcycle because he rides and rides and rides. And he gets great candid shots of everybody in our world, too. That's the Cannonball or the Chase, one of the two of those, I'm sure, outside the hotel. And I love this shot here, 2014. Miss Gypsy looks so just like Ready to go. Wherever she's going, she's ready to go. Take the picture, let's go. But you got Rogue, you got Barry, you got a whole crew there. It's really awesome, fantastic pictures. That was this is Dave Nichols. I know that's on the set of the Rough Boys movie. That was absolutely that for sure. And then we have what best, I mean, that's a picture there. If you're gonna have a picture, boobies and purple hair. It is an adult show, everybody. Don't be offended, I promise. Okay. Yeah. Gina Wood says she needs to lend me her readers. You're right. I need readers. I'm in denial, Miss Gina. That's Miss Cindy. And I know that's his lovely wife there. And an Animal. It looks like Animal, the drummer from the Muppets. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Okay. And I believe that's Jesse Rook. That's an old photo. I do think that is. And then we got, look at this. Like, we see that stuff live, but he captures it on film. And he'll say he's an amateur photographer, which I wouldn't believe. Look at that. Look at the smile on that kid's face. You have to love that. Braces and all, having fun. There we go. There's Miss Vivian again. Boy, look at the two of them. They clean up well, him and Miss Cindy. I like that. Very good. Candid shots, everybody. Gotta love the candid shots. That's what being a good photographer is. And that's Sarah Liberty. And I believe that's Joe Milkey. I'm not sure, but it looks like him. And then Michael Lichter. This man has more, he's a photographer. He's an icon, but he has more miles riding backwards than anyone ever in the history of the world, I'm pretty sure. And then I believe that's Rebecca Cunningham, if I'm not mistaken. And see, I asked them to send pictures they like, so I don't really get all the details because I like to guess at it and see them too. There's David Yule and Woody. Woody from the Buffalo Chip, and then David Yule, the artist, which I told everybody you should definitely check it out. And there's Walt with Joe Sparrow. And that is a picture of Scott Jacobs with his grandbaby. Oh my goodness, look at that. I love it. Fantastic. And Brian and Vanessa Clock with Walt. Walt gets around. He's like Joe Sparrow. He's everywhere. He absolutely gets to see everyone everywhere in their best moment. This is definitely a Rough Boys moment there. There's Bob and Charlie and CJ. And this young man on the end, I don't remember his name. I know I met him. And then the candid shots. Walt took these at Willie's. Like, I love that. There's Chris and Willie laughing and giggling about something somebody was doing that was probably a little bit funny. And then he got a picture of me getting a selfie with Dave and Jody. Gotta love it. And then there he is, my foodie. I love it. He is a foodie. He knows where the good food is. If you want to know where good food is when you're riding, follow Walt. There's their, look at their picture. And then she's still smiling like that. That's love. That's love. All right. So Walt is gainfully unemployed. I call him a moto journalist. He says that he's an amateur photographer. He's a foodie and he's a badass rider. Okay. And you can find his stuff at Walt Pix, Pix, motorcycle stuff, or Dirty Biker Trash. So that is awesome. Okay. Now I can do this. I got this. All right. I got this. And I see all the comments. Yes, Miss Gina, I do need readers for sure. Okay, so we're gonna attempt to do this really well. We're gonna get you here. They can all see you without the glare. There you are. Say something, Walt, so they can hear you.
Hello, hello, hello.
Can you guys all hear him out there? Somebody give me a heck yeah. I know you're paying attention.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I hear you. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna start out with, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine. I'm upright above the grass. I'm happy.
And you were out chasing food today, weren't you?
I think we got a delay.
It got delayed?
Well, I went to Publix. Yeah, I had to grab some lunch. I was on the road since 5:30 this morning and got in mid-afternoon.
And now you absolutely have not had a nap yet, and you were up at 5:30 this morning.
I have not. My eyelids are heavy, but
I love you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I see that. And we did really well. We managed to get you on FaceTime, on the microphone. So no matter what, we can make this happen. I love it. Okay. So, what do you have coming up?
Oh gosh. The only thing on schedule right now is possible is Clarksdale for Barry and Vivian's anniversary.
That is a fantastic time. We had so much fun last year.
Yeah. But that's the only thing right at the moment. There may be something that's not coming to mind, but
Okay. So now we're talking about Clarksdale. You are an avid blues historian, pretty much, aren't you?
I like blues music. You talk to Barry if you want some history. He can talk history.
That's true. You do a lot of photography. You've done a lot of blues photography, though, of musicians and stuff, haven't you?
No, I haven't done a lot of musicians. I'm basically motorcycles and some of the things, the personal things he was showing.
Okay. Well, you used to be a correspondent for Thunder Press and did some stuff for other ones too, right?
Yeah, primarily for Thunder Press. I did a little bit for U.S. Rider News and some of the Full Throttle things. I had a piece or two every once in a while.
U.S. Rider News. I haven't heard that in a while. That's pretty interesting. I used to look forward to that down here in the South. We had that.
Yeah, Scott and Sylvia are good friends. Always see them at Daytona and Sturgis, and we all living in Georgia right now, but I never see them except when we're out of town.
Okay. That's good, though. You still see them. They still have U.S. Rider News?
No, it's like most print publications, it's history.
Yeah. Yeah. If it didn't keep up online, it didn't make it very far. That's for sure.
You know, it seems like most of us of a certain age, we prefer the paper.
Yes.
And I don't know. I'd still get my Easy Riders and I get Cycle Source. And when I'm traveling, I find Outlaw magazine in the Midwest sometimes. And there's a couple of others, but I have to pick one up just because it's paper.
Right. I'm with you on that. I love my print magazines. I still write everything down. I'm not necessarily so good on the computer, as we can all tell while we're FaceTiming.
I'll blame that on me. Don't blame that on you. I'm technologically infant.
I love it. It's okay. So am I. So without someone here who actually knows what they're doing, this is what we get. But I think this is cooler anyways. Who else does this shit? I don't know.
Improvise, make it work.
That's right. That's what we do. That's as motorcyclists, we have to do that too on the road. We are constantly doing that. Same thing when you're taking pictures. What do you take 1,000 pictures before you get one actual shot that you like to use?
Pretty much for something just really, really good.
And you like the Blue Angels. What started that you like?
Well, we live in on Pensacola Beach, and the Blue Angels fly every July. Sometimes it's the week after 4th of July. Sometimes it skips a week, but most of the time it's back to back. And that's Cindy's favorite time of the year to be at the beach. And our building, we live on the top floor of our building.
Okay.
And those shots are taken from our balcony or from our neighbor's balcony. He always has a big party. And so we, as a matter of fact, Cindy sent a text earlier today that she got her Blue Angels fixed today. They all came home.
Oh.
And, as they do on Sunday evenings, normally if they're out performing, this may be their trip back from California where they go for the winter.
Okay.
What it was, because I don't think they've been at the base until today.
Right. Yeah, because yesterday or today was the last day of winter, first day of spring, right? Or we're like right there. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I still don't get the groundhog thing. They say the groundhog says, 6 more weeks, but it's still 42 days, no matter how you count it. Like whether I don't know.
Shoot him and give him a beer.
Give him a beer. Poor guy. Well, there's so many people out there that say hello. Jan Schmidt, Bill Ford says hello, my friend. Kathy Slaughterday says looking forward to Clarksdale. That's awesome. So, how do you feel about some questions tonight?
Shoot.
Okay. All right. So We're doing this, and I love that we're doing it this way because this makes it's actually way authentic that we're actually, again, making it work. So, we'll start with the little kinda dumb questions that or quick fire questions, I think you call them, and then we'll get on to some serious stuff. So, dogs or cats?
Cats,
Apples or oranges?
oranges.
Oranges. Cats, huh? I pictured you as a big dog kinda guy.
I grew up with dogs, but when Cindy and I got married, she had cats, and I learned to love cats.
That's truly loving your woman for sure. That's love. You're so sweet. Okay, and oranges. Oranges versus apples. Is that because you're here in the South?
No, I just prefer them, and I drink a lot of orange juice every day, actually.
Okay. All right. So hotel or camping?
Hotel,
Hotel. Very
preferably with a restaurant and a bar.
preferably with a restaurant and a bar. Okay, I'll go with that. Um, okay, slow or fast?
If I'm in the countryside, slow. If I'm on the highway, put the hammer down and let's go.
Okay. I like that. That's good. All right. So making or breaking?
Does that have to do with manufacturing or making a motorcycle or
Can be
break?
anything. It can be anything. Some people just like to smash shit, and then some people like to glue it all back together after someone smashes it. So, however you want.
I've always taken care of my stuff. I've never been that guy.
Good.
My friends like to burn their tires off their bikes or their cars, tear them up and wreck them and do all that. I always appreciated what I have. I didn't abuse it.
Right.
Still don't.
Same here.
Well, I love these guys online on some of the forums and stuff. Saw one the other day on one of the Indian forums. I've never buying Dunlop tires again. I don't get any mileage out of them and stuff. And I'm going like, dude, I get 22,000 miles out of a set of Dunlops on my Chieftain, and you're telling me you're getting 6,000 miles out of them? Then that's abuse. That's not the tire's fault.
Right. Exactly. And there is a lot to that. Like I'm not a burnout person or anything. I don't like to abuse my machine, but nowadays that it's a thing, just it's like a pissing contest or the boys all whip it out at the bar and bang it on the bar to see which one's the bigger one. So I don't know. It's times have changed, but things still stay the same, however that works out. So yeah.
I don't need to race you. I don't need to show you that I've got something better than yours or whatever. I'm just happy to be here.
Right. That's the best attitude to have too, just go with the flow and enjoy. And you do that. You're everywhere I go, I'll turn around and there you are. And I love that. That's one of my favorite things. I have to say that I enjoy that, especially out on the road. Okay. So, if you were oh wait, what's your favorite song? That's the one.
I thought about that. I don't really have a favorite song. I was in the music business for a number of years. I saw a lot of groups, but I did think that usually the first songs that come to mind when somebody asks me that's early Doobie Brothers.
Okay, I like that.
Jesus Is Just All Right. Listen to the music. China Grove. All those classics from back in that day.
Right, South City Midnight Lady, all that good stuff. Then isn't it cool that we actually know them and actually have a little bit of insight to some of the history on that music now after growing up and loving it so much?
Yeah, nice people too.
Fantastic. They're salt of the earth. I just love them. And they got the whole tribe going too. The grandkids I love watching them. They're doing everything. I know she's in her heyday with all that. I feel the same way. Now, you guys have grandkids?
We don't have kids or grandkids. We got nieces and nephews.
Nieces and nephews. And then fur babies, obviously, the cats.
Well, we haven't had one since 1911. We travel so much that, 1911.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But we had our last one and decided no more.
Okay.
If we ever become shut-ins, we'll probably have a house full of them.
Right, because you guys travel a lot. You're everywhere. You go everywhere. Okay, so then when you're on the road, what's your favorite road food?
It's not my favorite road food, but the favorite food, I eat a lot of good food wherever I go. But my favorite food to eat is when I've been to the West Coast or out west or someplace, get back to around Kansas, and I see the first Cracker Barrel, I have to pull in there and have some vegetables and some sweet tea and fried chicken.
I love it. I love the hash brown casserole, and the baby carrots are my favorite. Absolutely.
I've got a particular meal. I have to get fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, turnip greens, cornbread, and sweet tea.
And that's it, right? Because that part of the country, you don't get that at all.
No.
There's no Southern food. It's
They
like
look at you cross-eyed when you ask for sweet tea.
same thing in New York City. It
Yeah.
comes out of a tap. You're just like, yeah, no, that's not what I meant. Not quite at all, for sure. Okay, so if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Dirty Harry.
Okay, I guess he was definitely a superhero of the 80s. I'll give you that.
Effective.
Yeah, he was effective. Yeah, him and Charles Bronson, those two were like, yeah.
I was actually going to say Charles Bronson too, but I just gave you the Clint Eastwood character.
The Clint Eastwood one, right? That's too funny. Yeah, because they were really, really good. And for those of you youngins who might be watching this during the week and you're not sure who they are, check it out. You will definitely, it's worth it. Yeah, that goes back to so many good actors and stuff like that. And wow. Yeah, that's why I love Memorial Day and stuff like that, is when they play all the good old war movies and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so then if you were a cocktail, what would you be?
A Negroni.
What's a Negroni?
It's one of those. It's gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth.
Okay, that's
it's
like
an acquired taste.
Yeah, that's like a twist on an Alabama Slammer kind of thing.
Yeah, and you put a little bitters in there, chocolate or cherry or sorghum, and and a little orange. I didn't get a chance since we were having technical difficulties. I didn't get to make it like I normally would, but it's still the essence.
It's got enough to get you keep you going, right? That's funny. I love it. Okay, so let's get into some serious questions. How did you get into motorcycling?
When I was young, probably 10, 12 years old, probably a little younger than that, my dad used to take me to Potter Motor Company in Albany, Georgia, to get his chainsaws fixed. He was in the logging business. And Potter was a Harley Davidson dealer there. Mm-hmm. And they handled, I don't know what lines of chainsaws, I don't remember off the top of my head. But I got to climb around on all the big touring bikes back then, the big FLs and stuff. And he would crank one up for me every now and then and just, rev it up and stuff. For little kids, you get a thrill. My friends started getting motorcycles, or primarily mopeds and step-through Cushmans and stuff like that when I was about 12, 13 years old, 14. And they let me ride them every now and then. I was told my grandfather wanted to buy me a motorcycle when I was about that age. But I found out later on, I thought it was my mother that didn't want me to get it, but I found out it was my dad that would let him buy me a motorcycle. So we got a go-kart instead. It was a Christmas present. So jump forward. I told him, I said, when I get to be 18 years old, I'm buying a motorcycle. And it's like, well, when you're 18, you can do what you want to. So the summer when I turned 18, I got together the money. I went to the bank and borrowed the money. I think either my dad or my grandfather, I think, said let him have the money because it was over $1,000. And I had no way of proving I could pay back $1,000 back then.
Right.
So I got the money. I told them I shopped around all over the Southeast. I found a Honda 450 in Charlotte, North Carolina. My mom ran the bus station. She comped me an overnight ticket. I rode from Southwest Georgia to Charlotte, North Carolina overnight. Took about 12, 14 hours. I got to Charlotte that morning. They came and picked me up at the bus station. By 9 o'clock, I was on the bike heading back to South Georgia.
Nice.
And I rode 562 miles that day on my new bike, breaking it in. And I've been riding. Well, there's a big gap. I rode that bike for a while, living in Atlanta, and that was no place to be riding a motorcycle.
Right.
And then jump forward to 2001, and our best friends got back into motorcycling and stuff like that. So encouraged us. Had a couple of FXRs and a Road King, and I got to ride those because I didn't have a bike. So Cindy bought me a wide glide for my birthday in 2001.
Love it.
Still have that wide glide.
Yeah. That's a good woman there. She just wants to make sure you're happy and she wants to go riding around.
Yeah, she is the best.
So, what would you say has been or was your biggest challenge in motorcycling?
Oh, gosh. I don't know that I've really had any challenges.
Okay. I like that.
Everything's been pretty rosy. I mean, I've met great people like yourself and the other people we know, and I've just had a great time on a motorcycle. Motorcycling gives me something to look forward to. I don't have any other hobbies. I mean, I do a little this, do a little of that, but we travel, and obviously, you can look at me and tell I like to eat. So, those type things. We cook at home a lot. I don't see any challenges. I'm fortunate, I guess you'd say.
I'll go with that. It's always an adventure. That's what counts. That's, if you look at it that way. And a lot of fun has been had. So that's super cool. So, who would you say was your childhood hero?
I thought about that. It has to be my grandfather because he loved life. He was a successful man. He didn't have an education. And some of the things I learned, I went with him. He lived next door to me from about 1960 on. He married the lady next door. And so he took me to places with him that I rode with him every Saturday during school years, school months. And then during the summertime, I tried to ride with him every day.
Right.
And go to the farm. He farmed. And then I noticed what he was doing, but I didn't know what he was doing at the time. One day it hit me when I was an adult. We would go and visit places. We would go to country stores. We would go to different hardware stores. We would go to car dealers in a different city. And what he was doing was networking.
Yeah.
And, it didn't dawn on me at the time. I'm going like, well, why are we going over here to go get a soft drink and a cookie or something? I mean, that's what we do. And he'd stand around, talk for 15, 20 minutes while I was consuming whatever I bought and whatever he bought me. And that served me well later on.
Right.
I didn't know that's what he was doing at the time. And what it really dawned on me, this was in the mid-'70s, I guess you were. I was heading down south, and I went through Lumkin, Georgia, of all places, Stewart County. And I got stopped by the state troopers. And so instead of dealing with all that, I just stopped by the sheriff's office as I went through Lumpkin and walked in. The sheriff sitting there. It's kind of like a boss hog sort of thing, small place, 4 or 5 people sitting around the heater, and walked in, introduced myself, told him what happened. It's like, well, who stopped you? It's state boys. Well, I can't do anything about that, but what about this amount? So I paid him the money. He said, Lumkin, are you any kin to Cecil Lumpkin? I said, yes, sir, I am. And everybody knew him.
That's so cool.
Yeah, all the surrounding counties and stuff. But I learned that, and it served me well when I've been in different businesses and stuff. Get to know everybody, your competition, their customers, your customers, their families, the secretaries who run the offices, all that kind of thing. And if you build this network of people, you learn a lot, and it serves you to get orders from people if you're selling them something. So that's what I did all these years, was in sales.
Nice. That's awesome. So then, who would be your motorcycle hero?
Gosh, I really didn't have one. I always watched Evil Knievel.
Everybody did, yeah.
Wide World of Sports.
Uh-huh.
On there, you had to watch that.
Yes, definitely.
That was about it.
So, what's your favorite rally or event?
Sturgis by far.
Sturgis by far. A lot of good riding out there.
It's good riding, good people.
Mm.
I stopped in Mitchell every year and
Yeah.
visit with Clockworks people and the big party they throw.
Yep.
And Brian and
Vanessa.
Laura back in the day
Oh
invited
yeah.
me, 10, 12, 15, whatever it was years ago. And I've been going ever since. I missed last year, was the first year I've missed. And I'll always look forward to that. Small town America.
Yes.
And so involved with the town. Everybody knows Brian.
And the Corn Palace.
I happen to be wearing a shirt tonight.
I see that.
Benton. But anyway, I enjoy the people. I've met a lot of locals there, and it's just a pleasure to stop off for a couple of days in Mitchell.
Yeah, and it is, and they got the Corn Palace there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think
it's very
that's pretty
unique.
neat. Yeah, it's unique. So, I guess my next question for you then would be, what's the most fun you've ever had on a motorcycle?
It had to be, well, one of the best rides I ever had was this past year going with the Cannonball.
Okay.
Well, we left Colorado Springs and ended up in Zion National Park over in Utah.
Oh yeah.
We went through Moab. We went through Bryce. Gosh, I can't remember the other one. Anyway, I left them when they went up to go through Zion. I stayed in Kanab that morning for a little while and let everybody get ahead of me. And I went through Zion by myself. And but I caught Jason that morning before he left, and I said, the last 2 days have been the most epic days I've ever spent on a motorcycle by far. And I've ridden in Europe and Stelvio Pass. I love that. And the Dolomites and, all that kind of thing.
He seeks out an incredible route.
But the sights in America, people get in their cars, get on their motorcycles, go see America.
Yeah. So what is your favorite motorcycle?
My Indian.
Your Indian?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm on my second Indian, and I would have already had a couple more, but they don't make anything I like, so I'm sticking with the one I got.
Okay. I like that.
I've told them that too. So
I know you have. Then what's your favorite route that you've ever ridden besides the Cannonball? Like, you have a spot here in the United States that you'd suggest everyone take a chance and ride?
No, I've done some of the Pacific Coast Highway coming down from Portland, and we've done it from San Francisco down to Sausalito.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful down through there.
Nice.
There are just so many places. I mean, it's hard to pick one.
Right.
It's like my music. I can't pick just one song.
I got you. I got you on that. Once you've seen so many, it's like, it is definitely hard to pick. So, okay, then I'm going to ask you the next question, which I guess is, Hippie Brad says, good thing you didn't ask me the funniest time a bike. Oh, he's funny. We don't want to read that, Brad. We love you. So what would be your craziest breakdown story ever, you or someone you were with?
I ride new bikes, so I don't break down. But I've ridden cross country with Scott Cochran, U.S. Rider News.
Okay.
A couple of times. He has a tendency to give out of gas.
Oh.
I don't know why his gas gauge doesn't tell him that he needs to pull over and get some gas. I've been with him twice, but nothing. We've never had any major breakdowns or anything.
That's good. That's actually a good thing. When you don't have some nutty ass story, that's even a really better thing. Because then it just means running out of gas is a pain, though. Because like you said too, why doesn't the petcock, you got to put on reserve if it's carbureted, and then if it's fuel injected, it usually has a fuel gauge, so you would think it would tell you. Okay, so then, if you could go back and tell your 25-year-old self something, what would that be?
Listen, and whatever you want to do it now.
Okay, I like that. Listen, that's a hard part for even people older than 25 to get, for sure. Yep. To listen.
Hey, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. Okay, so then if you could take a trip on your motorcycle anywhere with anyone, where would you go and with who?
Oh gosh, I'm boring. I've been so many places that I would love to go back and do Stelvio Pass again.
Okay.
That was neat. I would love to go back and do the rides we did through Europe. Cindy didn't particularly enjoy it. She always says she saw Europe like this. She only saw it to the but if we could, we had some fabulous experiences there, culinary in particular, and we love Italy. So I'd like to go back and do that and do the coast, the Amalfi Coast on a motorcycle and stuff. And Cindy doesn't ride with me anymore, but I would like to do that. And anybody that's competent, I would go ride with them.
That sounds good. I know we got to get that, like Barry and Tony Pan and everybody. They were planning something, but they were going to go on Vespas after that. And I was like, yeah, no. Let me know when we're doing it, and I'll see if I can work it out for sure. That is too funny.
You don't want to be on a big bagger up in the Stelvio Pass and the Dolomites, places like that.
No.
The switchbacks are pretty intense.
Yeah, I did the rattlesnake on an Ultra Classic, and that was not. I pulled my big girl panties up, and I did it, but I did not enjoy it at all. That's too funny. So, with that said, can you tell us something about yourself that other people might not know?
I'm pretty introverted. It doesn't come off like that. But,
right.
If I want to talk to you, I don't have any problem going up and talking to you. But if we're in a big group of people and I don't really know anybody, I'll probably be sitting in the corner someplace. And it's usually another guy that's sitting in the corner too. So we end up being friends.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm saying, if I see somebody sit in the corner, I always have to go say something so that they know there's people out there that would like to meet them. So I get that. So then, of course, you know the show is home of the 5 good things. So do you have 5 good things that you can tell us?
I do. The first one would be Cindy. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. We've celebrated 50 years of marriage last year. We'll get together for another 5 or 6 before that as teenagers and whatnot. But she's definitely the one.
The one.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm thankful for modern medicine that keeps us old folks going. I'm thankful I learned to drink good wine and eat good food. When I was growing up, I was that kid that I didn't want my food touching on the plate.
Okay.
I only ate vegetables and a chicken or a pork chop or something like that. And now I can't find enough places to eat. We've gotten so particular about it. We've gotten to be real
foodies.
Foodies, you know?
Foodies. You two are foodies. I love the pictures.
But anyway, and I wrote something down over here or something. I don't know what a couple of things. The ability to travel anytime we want to. That's a blessing.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And the other thing is that Jason Sims doesn't have me arrested for stalking the Cannonball as many times as I've followed him across the country.
I love it. He's a good guy. He likes that somebody's coming around taking pictures. I know that.
Yeah, he always has a good crew there. Michael's usually there, JJ and Olivier. You met Olivier?
I have. I think so. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, Jason just likes people to be around, take pictures of his long, beautiful hair. I love his videos. He's always swinging his hair around like a rock star. I'm like, okay, girls would kill to have hair like that. Yeah. His beautiful wife, she's just such a sweetheart, and he's such it's yin and yang, and they complement each other so very well. It's pretty funny.
Good people.
Yes, and we're fortunate to be in company with some of the most incredible people. I know I am. So,
me too. The best thing I ever did was when Cindy gave me that motorcycle, or our friends let us ride their motorcycles, is venturing out from there and meeting all the wonderful people we've met over the years. And if it wasn't for motorcycles, there were a lot of people great people that we met that there's no way we would have ever met them.
Right.
Except for motorcycle.
I feel the same way. And so you are one of those people that I would never have met without riding a motorcycle.
It's a mutual admiration society there.
It's awesome. And your lovely wife. And did she have a wonderful, wonderful birthday? I know she did.
Yeah, if you saw the pictures of what we had for dinner tonight.
I was like, wow, that's awesome. But that's good. And you know, I love that the two of you, like the pictures, you just see it's you can see. And you said 50 years married and like 5 or 6 after since before.
Before, yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
There's a trick to that. Oh, that's the trick to that.
her tolerance. That's the
her
trick to it.
her tolerance. I love it. See there, ladies, when you're tolerant, it works out. That's so funny. Well, Jose and everybody says hello. Tracy, Brad. I know you got up at 5:30 this morning, so I'm going to tell you how much we love you and we are so grateful to have you here. One of the best times.
I'm sorry we had a hard time getting
No sorries.
Working, but that's the story of my life on technology.
That's okay. We'll practice now and we'll start working on it. And then maybe by Valentine's, we can have you and Miss Cindy as our Valentine's couple on the show. That would be cool.
Works for me.
I like that. Very good. Well, I love you, sir. Thank you so very much. And you have a great evening and the rest of your week. And I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Love you too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for just going through the motions and just making it happen. I love it. Always an adventure. All right,
Yeah.
Walt. Good night.
Good night.
Okay. Love you. All right, everybody. How absolutely fantastic is that? Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Shit goes awry. What do? We handle it. Yes, we do. And he makes it look easy. And you talk about one of the greatest, kindest. I would never want to piss him off. He's that much of a sweetheart for sure. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say, don't forget to support our friends, right? Techno Research, Viking Bag, Cycle Source Magazine, Paco, SNS, Chicago Motorcycle Supply, Willie's Tropical Tattoo, Baker Drivetrain, Farm Life Creamery, Palm Beach Harley Davidson, Biker Bells, Tobacco Road Harley Davidson, Teddy Morse Harley Davidson, Miss Maggie's South Country Inn, Biker Lives Matter, Rogue, BikerNet, Bandit, Billy, Twisted Tea, and then an hour before this show on Open Road Radio, you can see Miss Gina Woods. So make sure you check it out. Hi, Miss Tiff. I see you. I'm going to call you this week. Cheryl, everybody, Brad, all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hey, I can push that button. You don't have to look at that anymore. Hey, I'm doing pretty damn good. Okay. So, well, I guess I might as well remind you all of the 5 good things because we have to do it, right? Let's do it. 5 good things. Okay. Be kind to yourself and others. It matters. Right? Share a smile with a stranger, that's for sure. Help someone who needs it, even if you need help. That matters too. Find joy in one small thing every day. It's there. No matter what, it really is there. And then remember, spread your sunshine, even on the rainy days. That's the most important. Okay, so we got updates coming to the website. Some information that everybody's been wanting out there. Please send your emails to Athena at athenaafterdark.com for Ask Athena, any community events. I could use some of those. And if you guys want to send reminders of the upcoming events, I'm going to catch up on those. It's been a little crazy catching up, but we've had fun. And again, the Hot Mess Express is on the loose. So here we are. It's Athena and I'm After Dark. I love you all so very much. I hope you have a great chopper week, and I will see you next Monday with another great guest. Mwah. Have a great one.